Welcome back to the Mission 94 Firearms Education Center video series. Before we explore the industrialization of firearms, let's take a look at our space. When you enter Mission 94, our retail area is on the right. Our store is curated with premium brands, including Staccato, Sig Sauer, Glock, and more. Down the hall, we enter the heart of our facility, the classrooms. We believe that a strong foundational education in firearms history and practical application are the hallmarks of responsible firearm owners. We can't fully appreciate the modern firearm until we have a better understanding of the huge improvements ushered in by the Industrial Revolution. The early 1800s ushered in a period of relative peace and prosperity at home and abroad that allowed people to do what they do best: innovate. During this boom period, called the Industrial Revolution, changes in the firearms industry happened rapidly and allowed for the creation of safer and more reliable firearms to be available to a wider range of people. Let's take a look at what was happening. With the Revolutionary War over and the state and federal governments established, the United States entered a dynamic period of economic change. Overseas powers began questioning the ability of the United States to be a player on the world stage, and trade floundered as the British and French continually violated U.S. neutral rights at sea. These continual violations were a big reason the U.S. eventually entered the War of 1812. The U.S. didn't sit by as Britain and France violated U.S. rights at sea. Necessity is the mother of invention, and with war on the horizon, the need for faster means of domestic manufacturing gave rise to one of the most significant inventions of the 1800s, interchangeable parts. The concept of interchangeable parts is simple. An item is made from the same standard set of parts that are all the same size. If one should break, it could be easily replaced by another identical piece. With war on the horizon, Simeon North, Eli Whitney, and John Hall applied this to firearms manufacturing. These revolutionaries all contributed different aspects to the standardized form of firearms manufacturing. Simeon North received a contract from the U.S. Army to produce pistols. The component parts of pistols are to correspond so exactly that any limb or part of one pistol may be fitted to any other pistol of 20,000. This was unheard of then. After going through a few design changes, North provided the U.S. Army with nearly 20,000 pistols from 1817 to 1820, all fitted with interchangeable parts. Eli Whitney took the same approach but applied it to muskets. Working at the same time as North and Whitney, John Hall took a different approach. Rather than focusing on the parts themselves, Hall focused on machinery, ensuring that each part created was uniform. He developed machine tools, fixtures, and gauges, and employed more machinists and gunsmiths. Through his work, John Hall showed that machining could produce a superior firearm in a shorter time than in an artisan's hands alone. Other innovations followed John Hall's incredible contributions to the industrializations of firearms in America. See how the percussion cap and cap lock mechanism created a big shift in the history of firearms in Part 2. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, hit the subscribe button. To learn more about Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, membership and training, and our educational programs, please visit Mission 94.